How y'all doing? Thank you so much for being here. All right. Hello, my name is Dr. Timaree, and I'm going to give you an expletive-laden rant about why are we changing the clocks twice a year for no goddamn reason. So you probably remember, it was a few weeks ago, it was in March, it was a Sunday, and it went from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. very suddenly. And as a result of that, a few things happened. There's an increase in strokes and heart attacks, car wrecks, workplace accidents, a bunch of stuff like that. How do I know that? Because it happens every fucking time! So why do we keep doing this? Well, some people think it has something to do with farming or agriculture. No, farmers don't care what time you get up. This is irrelevant to them. Actually, it has to do with Ben Franklin, and then this guy from New Zealand, and then this British builder, and they're like, all these lost productivity hours, and also theoretically energy saving. So during World War I and World War II, we implemented this. And the thing about energy saving, I'm very on board with it, but because of our technology, the energy saved now is negligible. And if we were actually serious about energy saving, we would be investing in renewable energy and get off of fossil fuels. Which takes me to the 1970s when we decided to permanently go on daylight saving time because of an oil embargo. So it's interesting because we're not still on that, right? It wasn't very permanent. It lasted 2 years. I'll get back to that. This is a rare topic where people of all stripes can agree on this, and somewhere between 60 to 75% of Americans are not on board with the time change. This is a case where Marco Rubio and I are on the same page, because he introduced the Sunshine Protection Act to stay on daylight saving time year-round in 2022. There are a lot of people who are on this page. So medical associations, sleep researchers, early childhood education experts, all are of the opinion that the time change is bad for you. And why are they of that opinion? Because it's fucking true. All of the evidence of it. So I already told you about the heart attacks and strokes and that kind of stuff. But when we do the time change, also people have slower reaction times, they have worse attention spans, their mental and physical well-being is damaged for up to 2 weeks afterwards in either time change direction. Like, this is inarguable. We know this to be a fact. And in addition to that, there are some arguments for daylight saving time itself, but just fucking staying there. For instance, people are more likely to go work out outdoors if there's still daylight to do so. They're more likely to go out, and if you care about people spending money, then they're more likely to go out and get involved in the community and spend money as well. So there is that argument. But again, I go back to the question of why the fuck are we going back and forth? And it's also super clear that this shit is arbitrary because not everywhere does it. Arizona and Hawaii and several territories like Guam, American Samoa, they don't go back and forth, which just demonstrates that this shit is fucking fake. We don't need to be doing this. So, okay, I'm looking at, what is our current argument? What is the reason that we're doing this? And basically what I found is like, we haven't decided whether we should do DST or ST, which is not a good argument. And some people say like, well, maybe it's not that bad. So not that bad, right? It's only 0.09% increase in strokes. That's 200,000 people when you look across America. I think that's a big deal. I think that's a perfectly valid argument for not fucking doing something stupid. So what is clear is that we need to stop doing the time switch, right? And there's a reasonable person could disagree on whether we stay on standard time or we do the smart thing and go to daylight saving time. I have an opinion on it. But so it's like, why haven't we done this already, right? And then so I look back at the 1970s. We did this once already. We put it on daylight saving time. Why did we ever go back to what we have now? Well, the answer is that children would be getting up for school in the dark, and they would be more likely to get hit by cars, which is not a good thing. We don't want that either, but I feel like there's gotta be another fucking solution other than switching the time back and forth. Like prompting me to ask the question, do kids really need to go to school at 7 in the fucking morning? No. They don't. They don't actually. Fun fact. The reason that we're doing all of that and we have these particular times for kids to go to school is not because it's the only fucking option or the only way to take care of kids, or that it's actually even good for them. It's built around a corporate convenience and the idea that all of their parents have 9-to-5 schedules. Now, everything about corporate convenience and the way that we've built our culture around the idea that everybody goes to work from 9 to 5 is also the reason we have fucking rush hour. But we know, like from the pandemic, that you don't actually have to go even to a place to do your job, especially now with the knowledge economy. And there is an active movement to push school start times back because there's so much evidence that would be better for kids, especially teenagers who need at least like 8 to 10 hours a night. There's so many more options we have for solving this besides taking away an hour of my life every March. So this leads me to be like, all right, so what do we do about this? Well, what did our ancestors do? If there were only a few hours of daylight in the day, they didn't expect to do as fucking much as they did when the day was 12 hours of light. So I started researching this thing, and I and the evidence pretty much kind of supported my case, which is not always what happens, but it supported my case, and in fact made me really fucking mad, actually, at capitalism. So my conclusions here are, first of all, the time change needs to fucking stop, but also beyond that, our institutions that are built for people, our public services, our education, our businesses, should be built around not only the conditions of the environment, but the people that they're supposed to serve, not the other way around. So, thank you very much.